Hello, Nana here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We are playing in the Harbinger League as a solo self-out Dark Pact Necromancer. And today we're gonna run the tier 9 map Overgrown Shrine. And this one has quite a number of things stacked against us, so I think it's gonna be interesting to do this. First of all, temporal change, so we are slower to move around. Monsters have a chance to avoid elemental ailments, which we don't apply, so that is fine. It's a free quantity. Increased monster damage, and unique boss deals increased damage and has increased attack and cast speed. So the mobs are gonna hit effectively like their tier 10 or tier 11 mobs. And the boss is definitely gonna hit like a tier 11 or a tier 12 boss. So that is gonna be interesting. Then we have monsters with increased accuracy, and that's, well, means they'll just miss less often. And they will dodge poison, blind and sleep, or bleed, which we don't apply, so that's okay. And my dodge chance is unlucky, which once again doesn't apply. So there's a, definitely this one seems to be tilted in favor of the enemies. So let's see if they are truly at an advantage here, or whether it's actually not that bad.
A once great monument, now a forgotten memorial.
If you remember my ice shot that I built from the Legacy League, then of course you might remember that this is the map where I lost that character against a slightly souped up rogue Exile nonetheless. So definitely there's some memories here. The boss here is none other than a Piety, though this is not the Malformation Piety. This is the Piety from the crematorium. So she's the one that caused ball lightnings and fun stuff like that, which most of the time you really want to be able to move around speedily. Is that a word? Speedily? Let's go with quickly. You want to be able to move around quickly in order to not get hit by the ball lightning and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And you really want to play hide and seek with her. But of course with temporal change that is a little bit more difficult. Hello everybody. Okay, I think we're gonna take a step back here. And I just let the minions do some of the tanking, so I don't have to. Trying to do a full clear in one go, so just backtracking a little bit to clear out some of these rooms in the beginning. Should be alright. Okay. So, there we are. Show map, Emperor of Purity. 6-link Holy Chainmail. That's not a bad one to have completed. It's gonna be less energy shield, but it's difficult to argue against the 6-link, is it? We do need 6 more pieces. Kinda funny that the 6-link has 7 pieces. I don't know, it feels off. Okay, let's see if the map extends to the top here or if it extends to the sides. From the looks of it, it does extend further in this direction. Just did a run of the museum and there was quite a lot of backtracking there in order to clear it. I hope this one is going to be a bit more merciful, that maybe that heralds the end. That after that we can simply go back to where we were, exactly like that. Wonderful. Sometimes you do get nice layouts that have a relatively predictable element to them. And boom. So from here on out the map just extends to the bottom left. So we can just weave from side to side in order to relatively full clear the map. I mean, slow and steady. Temporal change definitely helps with the slow bit. Just generally trying to stay out of danger, stay out of reach of the opponents helps. As I mentioned in the last video, the lower level cast when damage taken setup definitely helps me to kick in the defenses earlier, and I've had a couple of interesting close calls that probably were saved by that setup. Okay, so this is annoying that there's a gap in between and I can't get to the other side. Oh, there's a connecting path here, so let's do that. Just so we can avoid backtracking as much as possible. Oh, let's sidestep the lightnings. Ooh, 6 sockets, nice. They all help me to contribute to the daily vegan mission. At least the daily vegan currency exchange reward. Where you can give him 64 jeweler's orbs for 20 fuses. It's a better deal than if you were to manually buy them from a vendor, but scrounging together 64 jeweler's orbs every single day, it's definitely not something that is easy to do. I do find myself playing more in this league every day, or on average, than I did in most leagues. The fact that I'm playing on, not playing on hardcore, and therefore that there is no risk of losing my character, really makes it so I can just play a map or play a lot of maps that I have no intention of putting up on YouTube. No, like clearing most of the atlas right now. Whereas on hardcore, for example, not every single step I set outside of town is potentially going to be a place where I die. So I always have to be sharp, I always have to be recording. And, well, recording your gameplay and giving commentary on it, definitely more intense than just simply playing for fun. Especially if you only end up putting like 1 in every 5 or 6 videos on YouTube, but you're still commenting all of them. That's one of the downsides of playing hardcore maps. It's kind of funny if you just look back on just the entire journey I've taken, so to say. It's definitely, it's more or less an accident that I ended up just doing maps on hardcore. Because I initially, if you look back at like mid 2015, my videos only did normal difficulty. Back when we even had the difficulties, that is. I played just acts 1 through 4. I think there might even be some videos from back before the Awakening. So that's when we only had acts 1 to 3. So I can be misremembering that. But I just used to play builds, defeat Malachi or Dominus, depending on what it was. Mostly Malachi. And then after that, just simply create a new build. And I leveled a lot of characters simply through the story. And then I quit and did another one. It wasn't until Talisman League, which is in late 2015, where I actually did start playing Cruel difficulty and a merciless difficulty. So effectively repeating the story over and over again on higher difficulties and exploring things and eventually making my way to maps. And yeah, the leveling process is of course something that, especially that early on, was something I always played, always recorded. But in the more recent leagues I have experimented a little bit with just condensing the leveling and getting to maps quicker. It's a bit of a mixed bag. There's a lot of value in just documenting the journey, and especially on the hardcore, as I mentioned, doing maps is, from a content creator's point of view, that doesn't want to overwhelm people with like all the tier 1 maps and all the tier 2 maps. That's the boss, by the way. That wasn't just a herald. It's more intense. Hello there, Piety. I don't like you. Might have mentioned that. Here. Here. Have yourself an army, or have yourself my army. That's just more distractions. Okay, this is not going the way I wanted to. But then again, there's a reason she's called the Wicked One. The Wicked Witch. So she killed my golem. You bugger. How dare you kill my golem? She's fun. This is one of those fights where you... Well, you can try to rush her, might be successful. But taking a hit and run approach definitely helps you be safer in the fight. Sending the minions after her helps you, of course, in the fact that you don't have to tank her yourself. And there we are.
Damn you!
Overgrown Shrine. Cleared. Okay. So there was that, and then there's 15 more monsters, so that's going to be the final room there. But yeah, it's the, as I was talking about before we encountered Piety, and we have cleared the map now. No, now that I'm actually just playing a full league on standard rather than on hardcore, I'm actually coming to the realization that it is a lot of fun to just, and it can actually be very relaxing to just run a bunch of maps in a row. Without having to focus on commentating and things like that. And there's a certain zen factor to it that on hardcore I never had, and which is why maps to me were one of the less interesting bits, because the effort reward felt out of sync there, so to say. And on standard it's much more enjoyable. So that's something I'm gonna have to think about it for. If I'm gonna do the next league on hardcore, for the sheer challenge aspect, which is enjoyable. How I'm gonna tackle maps, because I've done 240 map bosses so far. I've died a couple times. Just taking it easy, and on hardcore you want to push as far as possible. And yeah, I don't know, but no, by now you're used to me. I'm just thinking out loud and I'm rambling, and this is something I haven't really solved for myself. So if you got any suggestions on how to tackle it in a future league, let me know. But that, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again next time. And I hope that I'm actually gonna be able to just get some more higher tier maps, because right now I'm clear tier 9 maps. Just jumping from topic to topic, sorry for that. So I've got the crypts still, and after that I've cleared all the regular tier 9 maps, so then all the maps until tier 9 are cleared. And then for tier 10 I already did the Underground River and the Malformation. I actually did those as videos. I just need a couple more of these maps so I can actually find the excavation or the port, doesn't really matter. And then from there I'll now do the tier 10, tier 11, and then start running the red maps in the bottom side of the map, because those are the ones that I've played the least of. So it would be nice to eventually make my way to the Minotaur or to the Chimera. Or both. Doesn't really matter actually. Got plenty of time this league. And one of the upsides of course of standard is that I have plenty of opportunities to try these maps, and if I die, that's not gonna be the end of the world. I can just try again. But yeah, for now, and simply thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.